And I really wanted to do it. It was very unusual about this old well, maybe it'll be good. I don't know. But this old vaudevillian living in a theater and a little girl who runs away from an orphanage.
The man in that old television interview had no idea how tragic his final years would become. For decades, Buddy Hackett made America laugh with his unforgettable voice, his crooked smile, and his wild sense of humor. Audiences saw a fearless comedian who always seemed full of life. But behind the scenes, his health was quietly collapsing, and the woman who loved him most was forced to watch it happen in slow motion. What happened to Buddy Hackett and his wife in the final chapter of their lives was heartbreaking in ways fans never imagined. Born Leonard Hacker in Brooklyn in 1924, Buddy grew up far from Hollywood glamour. His family struggled financially, and as a child he developed Bell's palsy, leaving one side of his face partially paralyzed. Other kids mocked him constantly for his appearance and his weight. But Buddy discovered something powerful very early in life. If he could make people laugh, he could survive almost anything. Comedy became his escape route. While others saw flaws, Buddy turned them into his trademark. His unusual voice and expressions became part of the act that later made him famous around the world. After serving in the Army during World War II, Buddy worked brutal comedy clubs in the Catskills, sleeping in tiny rooms and performing for almost nothing. Slowly, the young comedian built a reputation that reached Broadway and eventually Hollywood. Movies like The Music Man and It's a Mad, 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 Mad World turned him into a major star. Later, an entire generation recognized him as the voice of Scuttle in Disney's The Little Mermaid. But while his career exploded, one person became more important to him than fame itself. Her name was Sherry Cohen. Buddy met Sherry while working in the Catskills, and unlike many people in show business, she was not impressed by celebrity dreams. She worked exhausting jobs during the day and taught dancing at night. At first, she rejected Buddy completely, but he kept trying, and eventually one rainy day changed everything. They married in 1955 and stayed together for nearly 48 years, something almost unheard of in Hollywood. Friends described their marriage as strong, private, and deeply loyal. Offstage, Buddy was not the loud comedian people expected. At home, he was quiet, protective, and devoted to his family. Then came the diagnosis that changed everything. Doctors discovered Buddy had severe coronary heart disease. His arteries were dangerously blocked, and specialists warned him that bypass surgery was necessary if he wanted to survive. But Buddy refused. He believed he could handle it his own way. Medication, determination, and stubbornness became his plan. For a while, it seemed to work. He continued performing and appearing on television, pretending nothing was wrong. But his body was already losing the fight. In 1996, everything collapsed during a live performance. Buddy suddenly became dizzy, struggled to breathe, and walked off stage in the middle of the show. He never returned to full live performances again. The truth was even worse than fans realized. Alongside his heart disease, Buddy was also battling severe diabetes. The combination slowly destroyed his strength. Walking across a room became exhausting. The energetic performer who once owned every stage now spent most of his time hidden from the public. Sherry stayed beside him through every painful moment. The couple eventually retreated to their Malibu beach house and focused on something completely different from Hollywood, rescuing abandoned animals. Together, they created an animal sanctuary and poured their remaining energy into caring for dogs and cats nobody else wanted. But Buddy's health kept declining. Then, in June of 2003, tragedy finally arrived. After suffering a devastating stroke only days earlier, Buddy Hackett died quietly at home at the age of 78. There were no flashing cameras, no dramatic final performance, no public farewell. Just silence inside the beach house he shared with the woman who had loved him for almost half a century. For Sherry, the pain did not end after his death. She later described losing Buddy as feeling like half of her own body had disappeared. She withdrew from public life and struggled to continue the animal sanctuary without him. Even years later, she continued defending Buddy's memory from rumors and false stories surrounding their final years. Behind the laughter, behind the fame, Buddy Hackett's ending was filled with illness, regret, and heartbreak. But through it all, one thing never disappeared: the loyalty between Buddy and Sherry. In a world where most Hollywood relationships fall apart, they stayed together until the very end. If you enjoyed this story, subscribe to Hollywood Bulletin and press the bell icon for more unforgettable Hollywood stories and hidden celebrity truths.